love Roy Wood. He is fucking hilarious.
That is hilarious to me. Because I'll be honest with you, I never attended Freaknik. I wanted to in the worst way, but I think maybe we were just a little bit too young for that, because that was like a college thing.
Yes.
And so I wasn't in college at the time. And I think that by the time I did go to college, I quickly became pregnant. And then there was none of that.
I didn't even go to college. I just quickly became pregnant. And then there was none of that.
Because my literal first year of college, like within the first semester... it was the second year, because this first year I almost flunked out. And then the second year, when we came back from summer, I was in my psychology class and I was falling asleep in class. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is my problem? And my shrink teacher told my psychology teacher.
I was going to say your shrink teacher.
My psychology. Yeah, he was a teeny tiny teacher.
Like, what the hell college did you go to?
He kept telling this. He told this story one day about a girl who was falling asleep in class, and turns out she was pregnant. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea that he was subbing me, because that's exactly what the fuck he was doing, and I didn't realize that that's what was happening until I found out I was pregnant. And then I was like, this nigga was talking to me, and then come to find out I am pregnant. But then when I came back, I acting a fool again, and then when I came back that following year so it was the first year. The first year is when I almost flunked out. When I came back the following year, I took his class again. I had oh dang it, I gotta cut that out. Dang. I had my baby. I was still trying to take his second class, like the 101, and then I took the 102, and he would like help me with the baby. So it's like I would sit outside of class because baby would talk, and he'd be like, when the guy was when my teacher was talking, I'd be like, you need to shut the fuck up, like I'm in class, and
you gonna get us in trouble.
Would just be like, and so I would take him out into the hall, and I'm sitting in the hall like right next to the door, so I could still hear him, and he'd come to the door, or he'd come and grab the baby and like talk, and I'm like, thank you so much, thank you. And he was like, no, because I totally know you're not my first radio sis. And I was like, thanks, I appreciate that. But yes, I will never forget Dr. Lyons, not one day in my entire life. Yes, thank you, Dr. Lyons.
Thank you, Dr. Lyons.
Yep.
There should be more of you.
For show. Thank you. I hope he's still alive. It'd be great if he was.
All right.
He's not, though, because this was 30 years ago, and he was kind of pushing it back then.
Yeah,
and he was one of those kind of Ralph Transvans. What's your Ralph Transvans? What you know about this? Yeah. He was a very thin man who always wore slacks and a shirt and a tie, and light skinned and glasses, and had a comb over, and was just very much talking like this all the time. And I was like,
was this in DC?
Yeah, it was in DC. Absolutely. But that was a good time. Okay. We know what we're going to talk about?
I think so.
All right. You hoes ready?
Us ready.
Mount up.
Mount up. Hello, and welcome back to Multiple Gab Wounds. I am your host, Tony.
I am Angie. I almost said I was Andy. I'm Angie. That's me. Yeah, that's who I am.
I'm Andi. I think
her is Angie. I'm Angie.
Regardless, we're Multiple Gab Wounds, bitches. Back for another week of
tomfoolery.
Dragging these hoes through the mud. I don't know.
Yeah. We're gonna shenanigan.
We're gonna shenanigan. I love that. I was gonna say, if he shenan before, he gonna shenan again. I said, you know what? Or if you card before, you gonna card again. I love those. That's why I love TikTok. TikTok be funny as shit.
Yep.
And people will sit there and build jokes off of one another. You know how like we'll sit here and talk and have conversations and build jokes off each other. They do that same thing on TikTok, and that shit is so dope to me. And I love being in on the ground level of it because it's like an inside joke, right?
Right.
I love that shit. But yes, the shenanigan, that nigga was shenanigan.
We love our TikTok.
We do. We watch way too much of it. So Andy,
Remember when we wouldn't though?
What?
When we weren't. I remember when I was like, I'm not doing TikTok. This is for the young folks. I'm not
Did
getting on that. I don't
I'm
want
trying
another
to think
social
if I
media.
ever. Yeah, I did do that. I absolutely. And when you said I don't want another social media, those words did come out of my mouth. I was like, I have way too many. But then what I failed to realize is that other ones drop off. So it's like
True.
I don't really snap, even though I just recently learned how to snap.
Me too. Like last year.
But wait, remember years ago when you first initially got on Snapchat and you were like, you can send text messages and they disappear, and I was like, what the fuck somebody want to do that for?
Shady
we
people.
found out.
I was just saying, right. And so you sent me, and I remember you being the very first person to send me a snap. And I mean, this was years ago.
Right.
What had to been like, I'm not joking. When I say like 7, 8, 9,
Yeah.
10 years ago, maybe, you were the very
We
first.
had just gotten back to Dallas.
Okay. And you sent me that damn snap, and I was like, oh, thank you. Bitch, what do I want this for? A video that disappears. Who wants to do that? And now got all kinds of dick
I
pics
used
just be disappearing
Snapchat
in
for
my
like
Snapchat.
2 days after that, and then didn't touch it again until last year.
And then I finally learned how to like do snaps. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. I had just gotten the hang of Instagram, goddamn.
Still working on it.
Yeah, I know. We'll get it together eventually. Facebook, old hat. This is like we've had Facebook for what, 20 years now?
Feels like it. It's been a long ass time.
For me, 15, about 16.
Because I think,
15 or 16 years.
because I think you and I got on it around the same time because we were the first two to like one of the first two to be friends on Facebook.
Because we was all about that MySpace.
Yeah, I was about to say, did you have a MySpace? Were we friends on MySpace? I don't think we were.
I want to say we were, but I don't know.
I
for
don't
sure.
remember.
I met my husband on MySpace.
You did.
Yeah, I did.
We were friends on
Yeah.
MySpace because you absolutely did meet Too Hottie on. Yes, you did. That is correct. I was gonna say, were you on MySpace? Mm-hmm. Were you friends with her on MySpace? Mm-hmm. Were you? And you've always been friends with her. I'm assuming you've been friends with her on Facebook.
Yeah.
Like the whole time.
Yeah, because I think we switched over about the same time.
Okay. Yeah. So, what y'all know about MySpace?
What you know about putting pink skulls on your page and music?
And music.
Yeah.
What you know about having a number one friend? What you know about?
What you know about that Tom?
Yeah, what you know
Tom,
about
what
that
everybody-
top 8? You don't know nothing about that. Get up here. You don't know what you're talking about. But my God, were you guys ever on Black Planet?
No, because wait, no, don't let me lie to you. I was right after I left my first husband. And I was like,
okay.
Let me
So,
see what these
I
people talking
did
about.
Black Planet for a second, and I was like, "Oh, these are too ghetto for me."
I was gonna say they pissed me off immediately.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want nothing else.
Yeah, it was too ghetto for me, and I hate saying that because that's such a loaded word. Thanks, white people, once again.
Yeah,
But-
Actually, I was on there before I got married the first time, so that was like 2001 or something. Like
yeah,
that.
it was.
And
It's an old. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. Black
they
Planet
pissed
was
me off
forever.
immediately.
It's forever old. So it's Black Planet, and then MySpace. So I guess maybe. Because I remember, okay, we weren't going to talk about this, but here it is. I remember like the internet first coming out, period, and getting those net zero CDs, and that was the way that we would be able to access the internet. And so we would do it through the phone line. Of course, I would have to wait until nobody was home because everybody was using the phone all the damn time.
The fuck y'all always talking to?
Or they pick up the phone and your shit get cut off. You'd be like, God damn. So it's like
That was back when you had to get a second line that was dedicated to the internet.
was dedicated specifically to the internet, and the only way that you could really access was through those CDs. And so I can't even remember how the shit worked anymore. But then once we started like getting, internet through the walls, so to speak, I guess, dial-up was like a joke. I hated dial-up so much. My God, when it got faster, I was like, thank God.
It went from that to broadband, I think.
It was broadband, the next thing. And I remember that's when I got my Hotmail email address.
All right, that was the first one I had too,
and
Hotmail.
It was before my child was born, so that had to have been like 1990.
What was your email name? I need to know.
enigmatictea@hotmail.com.
That's very you. It is very you. Did you have a Hotmail, Andy?
I did. I honestly don't remember, because I kept my Yahoo, but I did have.
We're trying to figure out where that
I know,
where
I hear
that
it.
sound is coming from.
It's like, is my computer just hot? I mean, it could be. All right, then listen. Okay, then listen.
Oh no!
What is
it's outside.
Oh,
there's somebody's blowing the damn things.
Of course.
that can be thought of.
My
It's
friend
several
is
different
so
ways.
fucking mature.
What's that sound? They're blowing the damn thing. Oh.
And we're not going to be able to escape that sound. So,
Yeah,
all right.
So, it had me about to
I know,
throw
both of
my
us are
laptop out
lifting
the
our
window.
computers up like, it's hot. It's hot.
And I was like, what am I doing wrong? Where's that sound coming from?
I know, because I looked at the mic and I'm like, okay, what?
Who did that? And that's so funny how.
Am I breathing?
That's so funny how. But we did, all of us. One was like, I was like, where is it coming from? And it came so quickly. Okay, what was your email address?
I believe it was some iteration of Andy DeBrat. And I think I had that on my Yahoo too.
Yeah,
love it.
Yes.
I was gonna say, what was yours? Did you have a Hotmail?
I did.
Okay, what was it?
It was crazy cool.
Oh my God.
But it was, I know, I'm cringing thinking about
We are
it.
so embarrassing.
And I spelled it with like
With
a
K's?
Z and two E's.
Oh Lord.
Underscore cool. Yeah, it was. I'm sorry. I want to apologize to the planet.
That
for
is so funny, and it's funny because I'm sure that if one of y'all sent me an email to that enigmatic tea, I bet you, literally every 5 or 6 years I'll go, I wonder if I can still access it, and I do. So I
do
go,
you really?
I do, because
Wow.
it's part of MSN.
Oh yeah, that's
right now. So it's what is MSN? But that's another story. So it's part of MSN. So if you can get into MSN, smack. If you can get into MSN, you can get into Hotmail.
Well, did you use Instant Messenger?
Okay, so I used AOL, Instant Messenger.
Right.
I sure did. And of course I use that for naughty purposes, because that's why it always devolves into that.
Always.
What the fuck is this internet all about? It just makes you immediately go to, how can I use this for jacking off?
From the beginning,
We're
I
animals.
was having conversations with people that I'd wait until I was living with my mom. I was waiting until everybody go to bed, and I was like, oh,
Right. And it was, oh my God. And now I just feel like nowadays, if you try to have that conversation with me, I'm like, the fuck back.
exactly. It's like, what are you doing?
Stop playing with me. I got shit lining up at my fucking door. Don't come to me with that shit. I don't. And like nowadays, I can't sext. I can't do any of that shit, because it's like, it only serves to frustrate me. And I'm not trying to be frustrated. I'm trying to get my needs met, bitch.
Well, we didn't. Wait, we weren't hip to catfishing back then. We thought people would be. I thought people would be honest.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. I think because we were so young,
that's true.
There wasn't really going to be. We weren't meeting nobody.
Oh no,
we weren't going nowhere. Mm-mm. Like, it's like, yes, we can talk all this shit, but once it's done, you log the fuck off. You never see that nigga again unless y'all come back into the same chat room,
right?
Which is, where it is normally came in, or you make your own chat room. Sure. And so, but meeting these motherfuckers was never going to be
I did.
See, and I knew that, Andy, because of your face when I said that shit.
She cannot hide anything.
I said that shit, and then Andy's face was like, "Oh, but bitch, I did." And I'm like, "Oh, Andy."
I worked for an internet company, and so afterwards, I would I was married, but I would go back to the office because I wasn't happily married, and I'd get on this social networking site called 6 Degrees, and it was like a college site.
Okay.
Right.
And that's where I met my second husband. And like I took a bus from Dallas to Chicago to meet him, sight unseen, never before. I went by myself.
Oh, wow.
I took a Greyhound bus.
Look at the Lord blessing you, because you could be in a ditch.
Exactly.
Right.
And it was some crazy shit happening all on that drive. Like, and even in the beginning, when I sat down in Dallas, this guy came on looking for someone because they were convinced they had a knife. Like, it was some crazy shit. Like, some security came on. It was crazy. So, but I thought I could never die. I was immortal.
And see, and that's what we,
Yeah.
man, and that's the difference between then and now, in that, like, our age and our maturity and all of that stuff. Because really, truly, the risks that I took with not only my safety but my body as well are wild.
Andy was around for my bullshit.
Yeah.
I literally, my first son saved my life because I was on a dangerous path.
Oh yeah. Oh,
'Cause-
easily. I've yet to tell the story in my.
If you don't stop saying
say
that
his
baby name.
Oh shit. I be saying my baby name, but I have yet to tell my child and my family, for that matter, about how my son really truly saved my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm that statute of limitations, so therein lay the reason I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that. But the fact is, I mean, if there is one, but the fact is that no, my son truly saved my life.
Yeah.
Like, it's like I went to go tell somebody I'm not doing this no more, and that person wasn't there to tell. That's all I'm saying. So I'm like, okay, yeah, we were definitely not doing this no more. For sure.
For me, I didn't have a kid, but I gained 100 pounds in a year.
No, because you had because of your
PCOS.
I have PCOS. And so that slowed me down. I remember distinctly realizing how different my life was because we went to a club, Faces, in Dallas. And it was me and Angie and this one other girl. And they wouldn't let me in because they said I didn't look like my ID. So I ended up going home. They stayed at the club, but I went home. And so that started, I was like, holy crap. But if I had not gotten big, I think I would have, because of the person
you would have been whole bags like
well, the person that I was dating was so was so ratchet that I think I would have escalated because of how they were acting, that I would have started acting out with other people. And so that,
And he would have wanted that.
yes,
I think he very much
that's the
would
one
have
that we
wanted
know. Okay. Okay.
so I I didn't get pregnant, but it's great how there's just these things that happen in your life that makes that are a
be saving
catalyst.
your life.
Yes.
Yes.
And you don't realize it at the time what it's doing.
Right, until literally 20, 30 years later.
Right. Well, even up into those catalyst things, the universe was looking out for me because I don't even see how I made it to that part to get pregnant.
Right.
Because I was.
I also remember like nights we would go down to South Dallas for clubs. And I remember one time we were walking through a parking lot and a guy was like trying to talk to me, but I kept walking. I was wanting to go in the club and he's like, well, fuck you, bitch. And he pulled a gun out.
Oh, see.
And
Was I there?
Yeah.
For that? Holy shit.
yeah.
I
And
must have blocked that memory.
so and that club that we went to in South Dallas, that was a crazy, because we would get felt up.
Yes.
There were fingers inside of us when we were walking through the crowd.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how did we make it through that?
Yeah.
Because I mean, how did we survive?
And South Dallas has always been utter trash. So that is, I'm like, that
We
that's
didn't know
crazy.
it was supposed to be any other
other way. Yeah.
We're
That's
like,
wild.
that's what you expect when you, we.
And see, having been raised the way that I was raised, I knew that everything that I got into was my choice, and it because that wasn't my trajectory. There was no South Dallas for me. I didn't have any of that until I got back to America and lived in Southeast DC, and it was during murder capital season, and so Mayor Barry hadn't been convicted of crack just yet. Okay, but nonetheless,
It was coming.
That was our mayor. My mama looked at when we first got back to America, and my mom watched TV and looked at the mayor on TV. She literally said, "That nigga sweating way too much." She said, "He's on something." And I was like, oh, Mom, he's the mayor.
Stop being such
See
a
how
mom.
naive.
Yeah,
You're so naive.
yeah. My mother knew right off the rip that nigga was on something, and he sure was. That nigga was sweating and carrying on. Anywho,
That's what life experience shows you, though, and I think that's where we are. We can reflect now, but back then we didn't know any better.
no,
Shit.
no, and
And you couldn't have told us we didn't know shit because we thought we knew everything and we're invincible.
the invincible part. That's more so than anything. Back then, we had no fear. I mean, I guess I wonder how or when we might have actually like come to the conclusion or had that come to Jesus moment where we were like, no, I got to keep myself safe, or this is not. When you were that age, you couldn't imagine your death.
Exactly. You're not aware of your own mortality.
Yeah, you couldn't imagine your death back then, and so it was impossible to even imagine. Although I think it might be different for kids nowadays because of the amount of school shootings and so on and so
Yes.
forth. I wonder if maybe that perspective has changed. Maybe they may see their own mortality. However, you could not think that it could possibly happen to you,
Right.
as opposed to now having lived this life and time has gone on. We now are at a place where we're like, okay, I am now on borrowed time because knowing that all time is borrowed time, but really when you're this age, you now know that you are on borrowed time.
Absolutely.
You only got 20 or 30 more summers in you.
Exactly. And you can do things to extend that by maybe eating better or something like that, but let your hip be stupid and your knee collapse on you when you're going
That's
up the
right.
stairs and
Yep.
you fall down a whole flight of stairs, break your hip, and then you're done.
Exactly.
That type of thing. So and I can't imagine talking about breaking my hip right now, but that's a very real fucking
It really is.
possibility.
That's the knee giving out thing.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many times that shit has happened.
Thank you. Where I've had to go climb the steps one by one by one by one because
Yes,
my knee is
right.
like, I wish you would, bitch. Bend if you want to.
Right.
Remember when you used to like go down steps without holding on to the handrail?
Yeah,
Right now
never,
it's like
never,
it's a necessity.
never.
It's a necessity now.
I put my hand on that wall because there's not a rail on the right hand side, but I put my hand going down the steps, put my hand on the wall, and be like, no, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these steps nice and slow,
Exactly.
and we're not gonna rush down nobody's steps. And besides that, my knee won't let me. My knee be like,
I
rush
wish you
down
would.
these steps if you want to.
And there is where I have a problem because I really want to roller skate because I really want to be active. That's one of the things that I
wanted to roller
enjoy.
derby so bad.
But I'm scared now because I'm like, I fall one good time and something.
And that's us.
I'm so scared about that. I'm so scared
And
about
imagine being like maybe your mom's age and thinking about falling. You know what I'm saying? I think about that regarding my mom because my mom, she's a tall woman and she's gained some weight. Fortunately she's losing some, so she's looking pretty good. But I think about that in regards to my folks, and I'm like, stay steady. So sit your ass down somewhere.
My mom broke her ankle climbing into a van.
Yes,
And it was a bad break.
Simply getting into a van.
Yes. And the doctor said it's the kind of break you would expect to see like in a motorcycle accident. All she did was misstep getting into a van. And it was just,
That is wild.
it is wild. And
is-
she was like, she has gone through hell with that ankle.
I bet you she
finally
has.
had all the metal taken out in
okay.
Africa.
Oh,
And
in Africa,
Yeah,
okay.
and it feels so much better. She brought all the metal with her, and I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
that is fucking ridiculous.
Wow.
It was insane.
Holy shit. No.
It's Louisiana. They fucked it up. They didn't need to put all that metal in there. I hate
but-
that whole goddamn state. I've never been. I've always told people that I do not like the state of
she has
Louisiana.
not been a fan of them, and they are nefarious. That's another story. in
That
and of
is.
itself.
Yes.
Yes.
Andi, how was your week?
It was good. My husband is taking me. I found out this week. He's taking me to see Boys to Men on Mother's Day. So I'm excited about
I
that.
love that he wants to go with you.
Yes.
To that. Oh, that is
Well,
so awesome.
He asked first though, because he's
Right.
like, because I showed him the concert, and he's like, I'd love to go with you, but you usually go with your friends, and I don't want to take that away from you. And so I was like, oh God, this guy. So
I know. Right?
so that made my week.
It made my week.
Yeah, I'm look at it's about to make my week because I'm about to go see when these tickets are.
Because I didn't think they were going to be back that soon, so it was kind of a shock. I was like, look. And he was like, yeah, that could be a day.
May 14th?
I believe so, yeah.
Bitch, I'm going.
I love that for you guys.
But I'm not going with you and your husband. I'm just going to be there. And you coming?
Sure.
Okay, all right. Me and Andy.
We can kind of stalk her.
Yeah, we will. We'll get seats right behind you.
We'll put our feet up on the seat.
Okay, that means y'all need to be in row F in section 103 because I'm in row E.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm going to do it.
And then we'll walk through. And like when you turn around, we'll pretend to be hiding behind something we know we can't hide behind.
We can't hide behind shit.
Like, you don't see us.
We're hiding behind this mop, but you can't see us, bitch. Oh, these tickets are very reasonable.
Are they?
Yes.
They started pre-sale on Friday. We got the pre-sale on Thursday, so they should still be some decent tickets out there for a good price.
Look like it. This is row E. You said you were row
She's
what?
on row E.
I'm section 103, so in the center, row E.
Okay, this is a level. Let's see. This is row. Oh, so this is Rose. Oh, I get it.
So
she's up here, so we got to be here.
No, we can be in the same
Oh, we can
section,
be here?
but we need to be in row F.
Row F. Okay, these are $200. I can do that. Yep, we about to do this. I'm leaving this open. I'm about to do this shit. Your husband be like, we can't get no time to ourselves,
Right.
can't we? Shit,
No,
these
I
hoes
think
follow you everywhere.
This was going to be a beautiful moment, and they ruined it again.
I think he's going to be happy to have you guys there, actually.
Yes, I'm definitely, because when they do right there, thank you. When they do thank you,
Yes.
I was lost, didn't know which way to run. I needed to wake up and see. That's my jam. Was finding me. No.
I think, I'm trying to remember who else it is. Tamia?
Oh, no. I just want them.
Okay. Now I'm just trying to think who else is going to be there. I think it's...
I don't want that. And the only thing that she can sing is
Imagination.
no. You made a.
Is she the one that does Imagination? She is the one. I love that.
What's
song.
that song that she does? Damn, I can't remember the name of the song. There's only one song that I like that Tamia does, and that's it. And she
But
can't.
you know what we do remember?
What?
All the lyrics to the New Edition song.
And all the lyrics to the Boyz II Men songs,
Yes,
because bitch,
yes.
I have darn near every one of their albums as well.
But you know what's fantastic? That at least from the last show, they do songs, they do covers, and they put their own spin on it, and they're
very
fucking
well.
amazing.
Oh,
my
really?
God.
They're fucking amazing. They're
I
so
love
good.
that.
He did Eric Clapton's "You Look Beautiful Tonight." Sean
Yeah, Sean did.
Oh,
and it was,
Sean
and he
can
played the
sing,
guitar.
girl. Oh,
He taught himself.
what?
And he's fucking great.
Like from YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because Sean can sing his ass off.
He can.
Okay, I love his Sean
And now
Stockton.
he can play
okay?
the guitar, and it was absolutely.
good.
It gave me. I'm got goosebumps thinking
Really?
about how good it was.
He did a song with Tank, and I was like, "Ooh, yes. I love that. That's two of my favorite singers singing that song. Absolutely, do that. So what else?
Well, I really don't have much else because, life for me is just one big blur. So that
Life
was my
ain't nothing
highlight.
but bitches and money. That's what it is about.
It's true.
Her life is
And
about.
cash
Get
rules,
bitches and get
cash
money.
rules everything around me. Everything. No, I mean things are good. I'm not ready for the kids to be out of school, and so
I am absolutely ready for
I
those
know
things
you
to be
are.
out of school. Shit,
I am
get on
not.
somewhere.
The hell on.
I'm trying to prepare myself. I know it's just so I can't believe it's coming so quickly, and
Yeah.
I'm not.
Do you have summer programs that they're going to do?
I'm going to
or-
put my daughter in gymnastics because that's
Oh,
her
yeah.
thing. And she likes staying all day. And I love it too because when she comes home, she is tired as hell.
Good.
Right.
And she wants to go the fuck to sleep. And I'm like, good, less fighting between you and your brother. That's all we need. That's all we
Did
need.
they fight? Do they really fight?
Oh my God.
Really?
He can't enter a room and she's like, stop it.
Because
She hates him.
your son seems so chill and laid back
He is.
that he don't give nobody no problem.
And he usually,
And he doesn't. He probably don't say a word, but when
He
he walks
usually
into her
doesn't.
room, she just gets bent out of shape.
he can walk in any room and she's automatically defensive. She's automatically upset.
And you're like, settle the fuck down.
But she I'm like, why are you so mean to your brother? She's like, when I was little, he used to be mean to me. And so she's holding, like, she is 9. And so she's holding the shit from when she was like 3.
Why do I respect that a little bit? I kind of respect it.
And she's like, I'm getting my payback. But I'm like, okay, but now, okay, don't you both of you have only been on this planet for approximately what, 10, 11 years?
Yeah.
So settle the fuck down. That you got a long way to go.
She got some shit.
She holds on to it, man. And then this week, I was actually, the one thing that came up this week is I was looking at my son because he's about to be 12. And he's almost taller than me.
Yeah. I looked at him. I was like, "Oh my God, stop it!"
I know. When I saw him, I was like, "Oh, whoops. You have a mustache.
Exactly.
Get back from here. You grown. I can smell the pheromones all over you.
Right.
Get back."
He's getting so tall and so big, and his voice is so deep. And I'm just like, where did that
even come from?
I'm not ready. So that was this week. That because I was like trying to, he's not affectionate. So I put my arms around him, but I try not to force myself on him.
Right.
And so I was like, oh my God, you're almost taller than me. And he's like, yeah.
And then pretty soon you'll do him like I do my son. And whenever you're talking about it, you'll start using his voice like automatically.
Right. I wanted to tell you guys, though, it's so funny. So my daughter asked me for a fan because she wanted to be like you guys.
I have an extra one.
And well, I think she has one, but she can't. But so she can't figure out how to get it to snap.
To get a clap.
So she's going to need a class from her OGs to show her how to do this. I'm like,
this is the one, because I'll be like, blip, 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 blip.
It takes me a few seconds. I was like, okay, let's turn it this way. Okay, now we're ready.
But it was just so cute because I'm just like the little things that she comes up with and the way she acts around you guys. I'm just like, okay, well,
I love that. I really do. Actually, I'm very encouraged by that.
Yeah. So I love the person she. This week, I will say, I fell in love with my daughter all over again because I was in my office and my husband was, I don't know where he was, but my mother was in her room, her TV room. And I heard my daughter go in there and just like, what are you doing? Let me do it, Grandma. Let me, like my mom was trying to reorganize her little sitting area and move furniture around. My daughter went in there. She was like, let me do this. Okay, what else do you need me to do? And it was just amazing to me because this little 9-year-old was being so positive and kind and patient with her. And it's not always easy to be patient with my mother.
Right.
And so watching her do that, I was just like, look at this person she's growing into.
You're like,
when you realize you're raising good people, that trumps
good
everything.
Humans,
And I was just like, oh my God. Because, it's like my sons, they might not accomplish, what someone may say is success, being a doctor or lawyer or whatever. But I was like, my sons are genuinely good people.
Yeah.
They care about other human beings. And I was like, okay, I'm proud. That makes me proud.
And I think that was the moment I was having. I mean, I knew she always had a good heart and a big heart, but then just hearing her be so patient and just because, a lot of times kids want to go do their own business. She loves her iPad and getting on TikTok and watching all these things.
Right.
So for her just to not be in a hurry and to take her time and be patient, that was just like, that was one of my revelations for the week.
Heartwarming.
Yeah. It just really warmed me up. So I had a couple moments with the kids this week that I was just like, oh, okay, I guess I'm doing okay.
No.
I'm doing all right.
And your son is proving very much that he is just a great human being.
I'm hoping so, girl. He finally kind of came clean with me about everything that's been happening in his life, and the fact that he now has custody of his little girl, and I'm like, okay, son,
what his heart wanted
but you know what, from the jump I knew that he was going to be a good dad. Like from the jump, because he has always been great with little kids, always. And it's, look at this eyes twitching. Stop
My
it.
youngest loved hanging out with him.
Yes, exactly. Okay, the two Doe brothers, or what
Right.
the beige
Them
brothers.
beige paper bag brothers.
Exactly.
Actually, paper bags are kind of dark compared to them.
Right. But but I knew from the jump when I would see him with other little kids and see him like playing with action figures, but dolls. My son was playing with dolls, and it's okay. He's all right with that. Yeah. But he liked it. You know what I'm saying? He liked, caring for the doll. Right. And so he has always been a very caring person. And so I am encouraged because yes, in as much as he's got his issues and, our talking is very stilted. I appreciate the fact that he was at his wit's end and he was like, bitch, finally, I guess I got to come to you because I don't know where else to go. Right. And I was like, good. Because I can actually help you. It's like, so, and I actually had a conversation with him to convince him I was like, look, I'm about to buy this house. When I buy this house, unfortunately, you're going to have to, because his thing was, I don't want to move back in with my parents. And I'm like, nigga, do you know how many times I've been in and out of grandma and grandpa's house?
Right. And like today's economy is not going to let you.
And 2023 is not good for anyone when it comes to money. So you don't even sit up there and try to act brand new about that.
There are people older than you that are moving back in with their parents.
You are a smooth millennial, and you actually, it's a wonder that you are out here.
Okay.
Like on your own. Because it's hard times out here, and then you gotta so
it makes smart financial sense,
right? Yes. And so I told him, I said, you are going to have, and so I told him, I said, I'm not giving you a choice, you're going to move back home because you have to help me pay this mortgage. And he was like, oh well, I mean, since you put it like that. And I was like,
in the background he's like, yes.
Finally food, goddamn. Shit, I'm gonna be able to eat. But that's what I told him. I was like, look, we cannot, when you're all the way out there in the boonies, we can't help you the way that we need to help you. We can't help you with money all the time. We can help you with sharing our resources, sharing our food, sharing our shelter, getting you clothes. We can do that. Right. But, all the time sending money, so you can't do that. That's not going to work for us. Angela, how was your week?
It was pretty good. I had some dental work done, and we're getting closer to the finished product. Yep. I've had some revelations about myself, and they're positive. And I feel like everything that I encounter is really affirming that I can do this. Yep. I can do more than I thought I was capable of, and I think I'm capable of a lot.
Yeah,
being women of color, we know that we kind of know we're superhuman, to a degree, not because we want to be. Life has made it that way, but sometimes you come to the realization that you're even more awesome than you thought. So
you are indeed. I was gonna say, before we got started today, we all sat around and we were talking about about the future of this podcast and, what we were thinking we were going to do and, plan, just basically, having like a little planning session of sorts. And it was great because we get an opportunity to give each other our flowers before.
Right. We want to build each other up.
Yeah. And to encourage one another and to be out here and be true squad. You know what I'm saying? And being loving and all of those things. And, being able to, to tell Andi, no, ma'am, there's nothing ancillary about you. Okay. You are out here being the core of some shit. And, and Angela is out here being a fucking steam engine and just moving through and, taking care of business. And, I'm bringing up the rear with
working full time and doing this.
Was insane. So
because I have to know I don't have a job. This podcast is my job. And she's working full time and doing
was insane. So it's like, and yes, and I sometimes I feel like, man, I wish I could kind of contribute more. But then I also understand that the two of you absolutely know that a bitch is working. Right. So, it's like, thank you for for doing that. Thank you for not making me feel guilty about the times that I can come in.
How dare you go to work and have health insurance and make a living?
Well, and enough. It's interesting to me when we talk about things like this, because also that's kind of how, not just this dynamic with this podcast and the roles we play, but also even in real life and friendships, different people have different roles in real life. So, it used to be get jealous of other friendships and stuff like that. Like, I know I would watch different relationships and be like, why isn't that me? Or why are they so close?
Right.
But then as I start in my 30s, I think I realized there are different sides of you, so you need different friends for these different aspects.
different pieces of you.
Right.
Yes,
because for example, I didn't want to go to clubs anymore, and I had a friend that always wanted to go to clubs, but she was able to find somebody to go to club with, and I'm like, good, because that's not me anymore. That's not who I am, and that's just a small snippet. So I we all have our different roles to play, whether it's in friendship, whether it's in a business, a podcast, whatever, and so it's nice to have people that can pick up where you might feel like you're weak or not strong.
absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
And they don't make you feel bad for what your role is.
Right.
They don't make you, oh, well, you should do this instead, or you should add this to your role. It's nice to have people that love you and that love you as you are.
Right. I mean, and in as much as you're saying that, let's not act brand new that we have recently had like issues where, somebody being who they are didn't rub us right? Correct. And that's okay. That's part of that too. You know what I'm saying? If your rub don't rub my rub, then you rub somewhere else, and that's okay. It is what it is.
It's absolutely.
It's okay to protect your peace and do what serves you.
Right. Exactly. And it is what it is. Any more about your week?
No. That was about it.
She got piercings.
Oh yeah,
She
I did.
did.
Get new piercings.
I did. When you walked in the room, I was like, her face is extra metally.
Yeah, we were where we saw the concert. There's a tattoo shop that I actually I went there when we went and saw New Edition last year.
Yeah, because when you passed by, you were like, "Oh, that's where I got my tattoo." Yeah, you did.
Because I had to have the nose piercing redone. And so I was like, I'm going to go back there. And so I called my oldest son and I was like, meet me there. We're going to get piercings. And he actually texted back. He's like, Mom, are you drunk? I'm like, dude, it's 9:30 in the morning. I'm not drunk.
How am I going to be drunk so early? I don't get drunk until at least 10:30 or 11.
Right. At least noon. I'm not an animal. God,
it's like what kind of night that you had that you were still drunk
and I'm calling him up. Let's go get pierced.
What's it say? Mimosa. That's all I'm saying. Mimosa, Bloody Marys.
That's I love it. Okay, let me stop.
Yeah, I know. We're about to get micheladas up in this motherfucker. Okay.
So yeah, he met me up there, and I now have. Okay, what I got that was new is I got an eyebrow piercing, a nostril piercing, and the labret right below my lip. I've already had an eyebrow piercing and a nostril piercing, and I've had the labret a couple of times, but I let it close up. So I got that reinserted, and I got the other nostril pierced in the other eyebrow. So I've got kind of like this symmetrical.
Oh, you got
triangle
the other eyebrow.
thing.
Did I? Oh, I didn't see that side. I've been only seeing this one side. Oh, okay.
So this is the one I got.
This is the new one, right?
This is the one I already had.
Okay.
I already had this.
I should get both of mine done. Because I only have the one side done. I should get this side
You've
done.
had that for like 53 years.
Yeah, I've had this. I'm not joking. Did I have this before the boy?
I don't know. When I met you, you had it. It was one of the things that I was like, "Ooh, she's so cool."
Yeah, no, I feel like I had this before the boy. That's how old it is. Yeah, it's 30. It's 30. And part of the reason I'd always been scared to do this one is because I don't want it clacking on my teeth.
Right.
So,
and it will. Okay.
Yeah. No, and that will drive me bonkers. I already know.
You eventually get used to it, but like the first week
maybe
or
I should
two,
do my nose.
I think you have a good nose.
Because I like to wear the cuffs, the nose cuffs,
right?
And those are cute, and I can get away with those. So I'm like, if I can do the nose cuff, I can do a little something here. But then I'd also wanted the
like the dimple,
the ones in your cheeks. But then if you don't have dimples, are they cute? Do you just look like you got two bumps on your face?
You got
two shiny bumps on your face. I don't know.
It kind of looks like you just have metal.
I wonder if maybe you could do it here.
See, I wouldn't want that because I don't want it to draw attention to this line.
Right.
See, and I know, and I've got that line kind of going there too.
Because we got the cheeks.
Yeah, exactly. Cheeks for days. And then, of course, my face is getting, fatter. Well, it's not actually because I done lost 2 pounds or something like that. Thank you very much. Well, and I'm saying 2 pounds or something. My waist beads are not as high today as they were yesterday.
Hey, that's what's important. It's the inches.
It's the inches.
The pounds don't matter.
Right.
The numbers don't matter when it's...
Yeah, because I got to get this weight off. It is driving me bonkers. I'm sick of it. Oh, I saw something this week as I was coming home from work that I thought was very interesting. So there's 2 things that I'm going to bring up. This one, though, is very brief. And just wanted to kind of just get it off my chest.
Right,
so as I'm driving, I pull up to a stoplight and I'm sitting in the stoplight and I'm waiting for the light to change. And as I'm looking around, I notice a woman in her car chugging a vodka bottle.
Wow.
Chugging.
That's fucking terrifying.
And not even just like putting it up to her lips and taking it down. Mm-hmm. She's chugged like she is like
she bold with it.
Yeah. In the car. And I mean, it's a gallon bottle. It's those real big bottles. It's like this. I'm looking around and I look directly in her fucking car. She's not that far from me and she's in traffic. Everybody can see her. Her windows are not tinted or anything. And she picks up the bottle and she puts it to her lips and she's chugging it. And I'm like,
could it have been water?
That's what I thought to myself. I said, could that have been, maybe it's water. But then I'm also thinking, no, because you are being shady about how you're putting the thing back on it and you're putting it like down below. So it's not like it's, here next to you or anything like that. And the way that you're drinking it and you're giving me the that type of thing, like the squiggly face when you drink,
when you're done,
right? When it, or
the burn,
the burn. That's it. And I'm like, this bitch is actually swilling vodka in traffic. And so my thought was, and my initial reaction was, I'm gonna call the police. But I was getting ready to make that left turn and she was going to go straight. And initially I thought I should follow her. And then I'm like, nah, don't do it. And I said, any other day I probably would. But today, good luck, lady. That's, you know what I'm saying? Good luck, lady. I hope that you are very close to home. I hope that you're not fucked up right now. And
I hope other people are watching out for your
yes.
And I was thinking to myself, because it's like the things that we do in our cars, we do all kinds of shit in our cars, right? I've seen people pick their nose, and be digging, girl. And,
well, it happens.
Look, I've done it. Let's not act brand new, but I surely make sure that nobody else is seeing me when I do it, because I'm like, or I'm driving and I'm like, where's my tissue? Let me get the tissue out.
Sometimes you're breathing and you feel it in there, and you're like, damn it, if I don't get this now.
And I get the tissue, but I make sure that I have tissue on hand. I'm not digging nowhere until I have tissue on hand, so that I know I'm putting it in the tissue and not wiping it on the seats of my car. But but my thought was, what is it that is happening in your life, ma'am, that would cause you to swill vodka in traffic? What is it that's bringing you to that place?
I wonder if she's either going to work or doesn't want to go home, or.
And it's, I mean, I understand
it's
having
sad.
Yes, it was. And I wasn't laughing. I wasn't laughing at all, because that was my thought. I'm like, what is your life like where you are sitting up here and you are getting fucked up in traffic?
Right.
Like you are stopping and you need to have this drink right here and right now. You can't wait to get to the house. What is your life about?
Right.
And I wanted to follow her, but then again, I'm like, it's going to be too much to try to get over in traffic to get to that place to follow her.
And then what would be the end game?
What am I going to do? Call the police and fuck the police as far as I'm concerned. Always, every time.
I was thinking it. You said it, but yes.
Yeah,
that's exactly
always, every time. So I don't normally involve the police in damn near anything that I do. The only time that I would have is if she was doing this. I have no idea if she did any of that, because I didn't see her.
She made a swerve.
Yeah, I was with my hand. Thank you. I have no idea if she was swerving beforehand, because she was sitting in traffic when I pulled up to the light. Because I had to make that left turn, I have no idea if she was swerving when she left. But nonetheless, I just thought that was such an interesting thing because it just made me very aware of our own little private things that we do when we're in our cars.
Yes.
And, besides singing, everybody sees me sing and dancing when I'm in my car.
Taking our bra off.
Yeah, or whatever the fuck. Yeah. But it's like that right there is that is hell. What you're showing me is hell right now.
That's what I was thinking, regardless of where she's going, and she's got to.
But what's your life like that you would do something like that?
I think of especially if she was heading home, what is your home life like?
Right.
That that this is where you are. I mean, you could just be an alcoholic, but something led to that.
So listeners, please let me know what would you do? What is it why is it that you are swilling vodka in traffic? Tell me what a good reason for you to swill vodka in traffic is.
Even if it's not a good reason, I would like to know what it depends on what.
Because I don't think I've ever had there's never been a time where I wanted to swill a beverage or a alcoholic beverage when I'm in traffic, when I'm driving.
But we also don't have addiction issues. We're not alcoholics.
Let's see, there's that.
I mean, she could be living in her car for all we know. I mean, and so, I mean, it's sad because it just sounds like she has a really bad situation. For you to feel so comfortable and being so bold with just turning up a handle.
Right. And trying to scoot down a little bit because you got to raise the bottle up. But and then this past week I had a conversation. So I
don't know, I'm already giggling, but
right,
like I know what this is, but I know I think I wasn't
so. So my second issue. So basically, the question that I'm really wanting to answer is, what is dating actually? Okay, what is dating actually? And I understand this is what we weren't going to talk about. This is going to be a long show today, but I wanted to know, what does dating look like? Like, what is it truly, and what is considered dating? Here's the scenario. I am not monogamous in my dating relationships. I have 2 partners. One is a very new situation, does not live in the area. We call him Houston. He knows that. He's heard his name being mentioned.
I guess you can guess where he lives.
We've heard his name mentioned. Okay. Does not live here. And
I wonder if he lives in Houston. Okay.
He lives in Houston.
Houston, there you
Houston
go.
In New York. Right. And his thing is, for the most part, look, when I'm there, let that be my time. And I'm like, okay, I get it. I understand that. I would actually require the same thing. If I'm coming from out of town and I'm making time for you, you need to please make that time for me.
Right.
And I have another story behind that, but we won't get into it today. So, and the other one is younger than me by far. Younger than, considerably.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, not in the slightest, baby. He's considerably younger than me, and we call him Cubby. Basically, 2 weeks ago, I told Cubby that, hey, Houston is coming into town. I just want you to know so that you won't feel a certain way about, if you want to come over or anything like that, just to let you know that I'm not going to be available to do that. He was
He's in his feelings a little bit.
He was a little bit in his feelings about it and not trying to be obvious about it. And as a matter of fact, kind of countered with, well, I've kind of been seeing someone too. And I'm like, okay, all right.
Okay.
And because I do not, I really don't, I don't, we know what this is, right?
Exactly.
And it is what it is. We go on about our meal and he asks me, are the 2 of you dating? And I was like, well, I don't know. I think I ended up saying yes, but
I guess I was trying to understand the question. I'm like,
I don't understand. I don't know what that would entail. Part of the reason I say that is because, number 1, he doesn't live here.
Correct.
And number 2, I'm not in contact with him every day. I don't want to be. That's me. I just am not that person. Right. I get maybe a good morning and a good night. That might be the best of it. I haven't talked to him at all today. Okay. We have been intimate once. I'm not pushing that.
Right.
And at the beginning of our talking, I was insistent that he did not bring up the topic of sex.
Okay.
Right.
Don't bring that shit up. Don't even hint at it. I said, because where I'm from, niggas have come at me with their dick out incessantly and be different. If you want to date me like you say you do, you say you want to be my nigga, okay, but you need to be different, because when you come to me with your dick out, you are the same as all of those other niggas, so don't do that. And I had to tell him that, because initially he was like, hey, and I was like, nope, that's not how you're gonna win me.
Think that's why is that the go-to? Okay. Sorry, didn't mean to derail.
Because niggas are trash. So anyway,
I feel like it's a fair question.
I'm just saying. So I had to think about it. I'm like, well, we don't see each other regularly. He's not here. I don't do long distance relationships because I would like whoever I'm with to be in the area, so that when I want access to them, I can have it.
That makes sense,
or vice versa. I'm just going to talk from my perspective because I'm a selfish bitch. So I want you near when I want you, or when I want to be around, or when and for us to go do things on a regular basis together. It is very obvious that Cubby and I are dating, right? We go out, we do stuff. We're not always fucking, but we, that's not I do. That is the crux of this relationship, but that's okay. That's what the agreement was.
Exactly.
But we also enjoy each other's company. We're friends, and he gives us business advice and all of that other stuff. He's funny and blah 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 blah. I don't really necessarily have that with Houston though.
Correct.
Although, Houston and I have had conversations. We're not in touch every day. He's not here. When he comes into town, then, he can act all cuddly and hand-holdy and all of that other stuff.
Right.
But it's almost like I have to restart every time he comes into town. I'm still a little like,
right.
So again, the question is, would I truly be dating him? Are we dating?
As you're saying, you're trying to figure out what the definition is. To me, it wouldn't really be dating, because you're not going places, you're not sharing time. You're not that you can, because he's in a different city.
Like you're building, like you're not building the relationship,
or like you're or trying to see if I can build something from this. I think that's what I think dating is that this is the tryouts as to whether this is going to go any, is this going to be more of a commitment or not? We're trying to see if you're going to be in the running for whatever,
like sticking around for a while.
And so you do those things. You go out, you have conversations, you have fun together, and you kind of find out what each other like or whatever. It doesn't say you don't really have that.
No, it doesn't feel like it.
Yeah, and it's like, and you don't even have sex.
No, and I don't miss him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. When I'm not talking to him, I don't miss him. I'm going to say something that he's probably going to come at me for later, but it's like I feel that there's some deception. Let's put it like this: I don't know if he's lied to me, but I feel like there's some omissions that are occurring in this relationship.
As women, we need to listen to our intuition.
And I do
so much more.
And I do.
We do, yes.
And therein lay the reason that I'm like, let me wait for this other shoe to drop, because you tell me differently, but until you actually start to show me differently, that's a whole nother story,
right?
You know what I mean? But and so that's why I can't feel like I can give myself over to this, because it's like
it doesn't feel, my definition of dating, it doesn't feel like you and Houston are dating. I feel like this is somebody that you fuck with every now and then. Right. Like, I fucks with you.
I fucks with you when you come into town.
Exactly. That I don't know. I don't think I'd go so far.
How do I benefit from dating. That? What do you think, Andi?
I mean, I think if it really depends on people's definitions of what dating is. I think it might be casual dating. It's not something serious. It's
maybe
not
casual dating. Okay.
I think because it's someone you see on the regular, but it's regular is all, perspective right now, because it's not consistent. It's not all the time. He is someone that you see when you can see him.
And he's said, oh yeah, no, I want to be your man. I want to do this. I want to be here, and I want to, and I'm like, but I don't see any of that. It's like, I don't, when I buy this house, I'm not thinking about your room. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah.
When I buy this house, I'm not thinking about you sharing any of that with me.
Right.
What I'm thinking of is I know I need a room for my son, my brother, and my bestie.
Right. I mean, I think it's casual. I think it's something casual. I mean, because honestly, back in the day it was easier because we'd be like, "Will you go with me?" And
yes, and it was very cut and dry.
Right.
You knew when you were with somebody because they said no. The official words was, "Will you be my girlfriend?" or "Do you want to go with me?" Check the box, right or no,
right.
But that don't happen nowadays, and it's very frustrating to a degree. And I think, honestly, I think a lot of men don't, and this is me saying this, and this is me saying this in my ignorance, so please correct me if I'm wrong, okay? But my experience has taught me that men will not usually make the distinction in order for there to be a back door to say, no, that's not what I said, or you knew what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's been my experience as well.
Because
that's just my personal experience.
And they make it very clear when they are dating, they say they're dating.
Yes,
they are like, no, they will introduce you. This is my girlfriend.
Exactly.
And I'll be
my
like,
fiance, my wife.
Yes. Or if or in conversation with you, well, as my girl, this is this and that is that.
Right.
And I haven't heard that.
They're
you
not.
know what I'm saying?
They're not as pressed to define.
Right. They're not as pressed to define those things. And so until you define those things, I'm definitely not going to do it. With Cubby, I feel like I can, to a degree, I can very much say that.
Right.
And I'm all right with saying it because, again, Cubby and I know what it is. We know exactly what it is. We don't know when it'll end, but we know exactly what it is for the time that we are doing this. And I have a feeling that later on down the line, Cubby will find a way to try to make this work, which I'm like, don't be funny, boy. Don't get a bitch cut.
I think it's adorable.
I do too.
Wait till we get off this podcast. But I'm not feeling that from Houston just yet.
Yeah. No.
And you may not at all if your intuition is correct. And that's
real right there.
You've just got to you've got to listen to yourself.
Yeah.
There's a reason. Just like we talked about, we don't know how we're still alive, but there's things that happen for a reason. There's got to be a reason that you're not feeling as comfortable with this. Okay. And it is what it is. And as long as you're getting what you need out of it.
Exactly.
And if you're not getting anything out of it, then why pursue it at all?
Exactly.
That's what I'm wondering. That's what I'm wondering. I know. I feel kind of weird about that, but I'm glad I was able to kind of get this conversation off my chest because it was like, are we dating? Like, Cubby asked the question and I basically said yes, but then I'm thinking, but are we though? And I guess maybe when you talk it out, and maybe I need to know what are the terms, how are the terms defined for us? And I think it might be different in every case.
That's what I was going to say. It might be just different with just you two. We all each have our definitions, but what matters is what you and Cubby and Houston decide what dating is.
That's interesting. I was gonna say, I like that. That was good. That was good, ladies. Thank you. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Very welcome.
I was gonna say, did any of y'all have anything else y'all wanted to discuss?
We can wait till the next podcast. Little stuff here and there. Plus, we're going over, aren't we?
Not that much. We're good. We're still good.
Yay!
I know.
I love it when that happens.
Me too. Now, can I say this though? Keith Sweat said lip singing, and I don't like that. That was wrong.
And he says it. He said it every time.
I don't like that shit.
I don't like it either.
Does anybody have any information on how we can tell him it's lip syncing?
I think he might know it's lip syncing and just doesn't give a fuck.
No, I think it's nigga shit. And I think that he is holding on to nigga shit, just like Scrimps and Bureks, and Abners,
and really, honestly, it's not really,
and Pacifically,
it's not really.
I feel that it is nigga shit. I love niggas, but I can't stand nigga shit.
It might be, but it's not hurting anyone.
It hurting me.
It's not hurting
I put it in the whole show notes so I can talk about it because I'm mad.
I don't like it either, and I don't like it when people say I could care less. And I'm like,
I
don't like that shit. But
I hate that too.
Irregardless.
No,
that
it's actually in
hurts.
the dictionary now. It is. It's because it's
That
been
hurts me.
misused so much. It's in the dictionary now, so it is a word now, as well as ain't.
I don't like that. So you just gonna just
As well
ruin
as
my day.
ain't. Sorry, irregardless.
Oh, come on! You don't have to keep saying.
I said. What's what I was getting ready to do.
Moist.
Oh, how dare you!
She chose violence.
Snack. I hate that word. God, I hate that word. I really do. I really do. I don't know why I hate. I do. It's that K, that CK at the end. I don't like it. I don't like snack, tap.
You can stop.
All of the tack. Tack I like. Tack I like because it's a hard T at the beginning and a hard K at the end.
I like the word persnickety.
Yeah,
It's fun.
I like the word kerfuffle.
I do too. Yeah, I used to hate the word griddle. I don't know why.
Because it's Hansel and Gretel.
It just felt wrong to say. You know what, guys? We want to hear what your trigger words are.
What are your words that'll make you punch somebody in the face?
Email us at mgwlistener@gmail.com. I want to know.
Right, definitely, for sure. What's another? Oh, flummoxed. I like that one.
I do too.
And be like,
I like juxtaposition as well.
I do love juxtaposition.
I like onomatopoeia.
Yes. that used to be one I would say often just because I like the way that the cadence of it. Yes.
I say it to I just taught this one just the other day and everybody was like, what? That's not a real word. And I'm like, it really is though.
It is.
I was like, it really is. I promise you it is. I'm trying to think, what else do I have in my lexicon? I like lexicon.
I like lexicon.
I like lexicon. I be knowing words. I be reading. All right. So you gave out our email address. What about where they can reach us?
Well, actually, if you're listening to this show, you already know where to listen to the show.
Yeah, bitch.
Hey, and we're on Spotify.
We're on Spotify and Apple
We're
now.
on Apple Podcast. Hey.
Let's not jinx it.
Yeah. Okay.
They better not.
Because bitch, you understand.
I worked
Angela,
hard.
Yeah, thank you. Angie went through the wire with these through the wire to the limit to the wall. She did. She went through it with these niggas, but finally they were like, okay, fine. She's aggressive. We'll do
let
it.
people hear you. Damn it.
Damn it. We'll let you be great. So now this is it. This is us being great.
Right.
So please help us to be great by liking, sharing, and following.
Right. And you can go to our webpage.
Did you hear me smack just now? That's some bullshit. I'm so pissed at my mouth. It's these lips. These lips is big. They just be flapping.
I said, speaking of our website, I've said that on our website that we're sometimes sick of our own shit.
Yeah, we're
sick of your shit, but we're also a lot of times sick of our own shit.
Right. Sick of these flapping ass lips.
So,
and I'm hungry, so that's why I'm like, get us the fuck off this thing so we can go to Bistro B.
Yeah. The website is multiplegaboons.com, and there's a link there that says find us on social media, and click that. It'll be our link tree to all the social media. And we'd love to hear from you at mgwlistener@gmail.com.
All right, cool. So with that, I'm about to go get something to eat, hoes. We are out. I've been Tony.
I'm Angie.
I'm Andi.
Deuces, bitch.
Yay, noodles.
Noodle.
Cheese
and nudes.